This channel is sponsored by Creality. Creality has all of your 3D tools that you need to bring your ideas to life. Scanners, printers, and even engravers. And there's very cool things that you can make with them, such as a little boat, a vase, or a vase, a little supercar, a full-size supercar. Start your journey at Creality.com. Hey everybody, welcome back. This week we're on the McLaren. So we're going to be talking about the retractable roof that I got. Turns out that it installs, which is amazing. But I did have to cut the roof off. We're going to talk about fixing that A-pillar and how we're going about that. And then we'll also talk about part of the tub, which is by the windshield. So we'll see what we're going to do about that as well. And try to save some money because we just don't have the funds to be able to buy some of these parts. So we're going to talk about trying to save some of the at least the quarter panels. So anyway, stick around. Let's go take a look. So I picked this up. These can be relatively expensive, and I was able to pick this up for a really good price from AZ Cycle Parts. They have really good deals on a lot of these McLaren parts, especially if you want your own tub. Now remember, those do come with a certificate of destruction. So you're going to have to use it for quote-unquote parts, which means that you have to have a unique build. So we're hoping that on this build, the addition of a non-McLaren drivetrain will distinguish it as a from-scratch build so that we can get it titled. If not, I guess we'll just use it as a track car. So go have some fun in it. But bear that in mind when you're picking up things like this that have a COD. So we do have one good quarter panel. The issue is that it's got damage here, so we're going to have to fix that. These panels come with inner and outer structures, but we'll go over that in detail. So let's get started. Hey guys, so I've got one of the rear quarters up here, actually the one that's damaged the most. And since I really don't have a whole lot of funds for this project, I'm going to see if I can't repair this. But it requires taking and splitting this rear quarter from the inner skin and the outer skin, and then reshaping them. Now, luckily, I have the other quarter panel where I can take measurements from, and that way I can be able to take those measurements and then transfer them over here to make sure that we get the right shapes. So anyway, let's get started. guys, I got the major bumps out. Now I think it's time to start going to hammer and dolly and my little bag, sandbag. Yeah, pretty happy with the results so far. Okay, so I've done a bunch of the rough testing. I've got my trusty tool here, and oops, it's this way, and we can see that I'm very, very close. It's a lot better than where we were, and if you look down the panel, ignoring the bumps, of course, you can see we're a lot straighter. And it's looking a lot more like this one over here, where most of the panel is in good shape, except for this area here, which I think we can fix with a little bit of heat. And if we break the aluminum, we'll just have to re-weld it on. The other thing I did was I came over and we had some cracks, so I drilled some holes to stop those cracks here. So tomorrow I'll probably sand those areas down and get them prepped, and try to weld them up a little bit so that they're not propagating even more. And then now is a game of finesse. I've already done the brute force, which is just getting the panel to the right shape. Now we do the finesse part of it. So a little bit of welding. I did break through here because I hit too hard. So you got to be really careful with aluminum that you don't hit it too hard or try to bend it too fast, because then it cracks. But this is my first aluminum panel, so so far so good. Check back with me tomorrow. So here's the 3D printed part for the A-pillar. And I've done the outside and I've done the inside. We're going to do a video on how I did all this, okay? So that you guys can understand basically what tools I used, which mostly I got from Creality. A big thanks to them again for all the equipment that they've supplied. And how we used this side as a model for that side. And you might think, well, you've got 3D printed plastic over there, you moron. What are you going to do with that? That's not going to be structurally sound. Well, we're going to do all of that in carbon fiber. And so we'll be doing some of that in the video. I'll show you how we're going to get on with that. So you guys have seen me do this before. We're going to take these pieces and we're going to basically skin them in carbon fiber. But I'm going to put 2 layers on the back, 3 on the top, and we're going to vacuum bag the whole thing, let it cook, and see what it looks like in the morning. But these are the roof areas that will merge into the aluminum parts, but we'll do carbon fiber on the other side. So let's get started. So that's kind of a mess. Those are all my remnants. But so sorry I didn't film this in time lapse, but basically I put 6 layers of remnant carbon fiber. I started with the basically loose weave here, and then went to the 6K. So I think this is 10, that's 6, and all iterated between. And I put 6 layers on top of the damage area. But before that, I had a nice big hole here. So what I did was I filled that with epoxy and carbon fiber to give it some strength behind it. I looked back in there, and this thing is all hollow. So there's not a whole lot back, but I was able to get carbon fiber onto the backside, and then layer it over there, and then fill that in with carbon fiber and epoxy. So I think that repair will be fine. Again, I don't think this is majorly structural on this area here. The A-pillar part, where actually the A-pillar is what got kind of torn off, there's actually less damage here than there was over here, where the aluminum piece that came across here tore up, pulling the panel bond. So, and again, I think what I might do is panel bond a piece of aluminum over the top of this to give it a little bit more strength, and actually to kind of flatten it out a little bit. And then I have to figure out if I'm going to build another piece for the windshield that starts here at this point and then comes around this entire area and then dead ends on the other A-pillar. So that's what I'm trying to figure out, is what I'm going to do there. But I think that we'll find out tomorrow when I tear all of this off, and we'll see how solid it is, and we'll go from there. Okay, so I've welded up this area. This was a big crack, and the hole that was there. I also did it on the other side. I turned my TIG welder down to about 45 amps, which is the full current, and that allows me to do this pretty thin stuff. Trying to get it a little thick here so that we don't crack it and everything, and I'll just keep reworking it until I get it where I want it. Obviously I have to build up this lip here, so that's actually working pretty well with the TIG welder. So I'll keep working on that, and then I'll show you as I make progress. Okay guys, well that's it for this one. If you guys want to get any of the equipment that you saw for the 3D scanners or the 3D printers for doing the A-pillar that I showed you, those links are in the description. You can get a discount. A thank you again to our sponsor, Creality, for sponsoring this particular project. If you guys haven't already subscribed, please do hit that like button and help us with the algorithm, and hopefully we can grow our page. We'll see you guys next time. Thanks a lot. Bye.